All right. Okay, so can I have you both raise your right hands, please? And do both of you swear the testimony that you give in these matters will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Ms. Connelly, I'm going to let you go first as to both.
All right. So Jordan has a long history of domestic violence, harassment. She is still in an active case for beating up her ex's new girlfriend or her friend or whoever it was. She has called my place of work, which I have no idea how she found out where I work because I've never had any interaction about my personal life with her. She called my work and said that she had a restraining order against me and that I show up at her house and bang on her doors and throw rocks at her windows and stuff, which none of that is true. I've never thrown rocks at her window or at her or anybody. She didn't have a restraining order. And then she asked my manager if she could call corporate and tell them the same thing. And again, none of that is true. And then
where do you work?
The Ram in Lacey.
Mm-hmm. Over by Galaxy Drive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I showed up to work. My manager was like, hey, this girl called and said this, and this.
All right, I got you.
And then she also threatened to come to my house, which, again, I have no idea how she found out where I lived. I do have the videos and pictures didn't send through the email, but the clerk said that I can just tell you or show you if you need.
Well, you can't show me unless you want me to keep your phone.
Okay. But I have a video of her saying that she Ubered to my house in the middle of the night because she knew where I lived. And again, I've never told her where I live at all. And then in July, so Joseph, which is her ex-boyfriend or her boyfriend, he told me that in July, Jordan asked if she would be able to beat me up if she tried, insinuating that she was going to try. And then Joseph told her she wouldn't be able to beat me up. And then the only reason why I'm still in contact with Joseph right now is because I'm the one who bailed him out. And I know that she's upset that I bailed him out. And then I know that her evidence for the thing against me is a screenshot of no caller IDs. And I went to my AT&T account and I've never reached out to her one time. The only time we've talked is either through Joseph or she's texted my phone numerous times. And I have a call log of her calling my number several times, but there's no outgoing calls to her phone because I've never reached out to her at all. She's also texted me from her phone number and from another phone number. And the screenshots that I have show me saying stop texting me, stop texting me, stop texting me. And then the last one, it said that I was going to block the number and then call the police for harassment. And then on the 12th, Jordan threatened to come to my house and break my stuff and ruin my car if I reached out to Joseph's mom, Lillian, which is his sister, or Joseph's dad. And then the police reports that she reported, there's false accusations in there saying that I showed up to her house multiple times, in the middle of the night. But I have screenshots that show that I was at my house with my sister, and she can be a witness too. I was never I did not go to her house and throw anything at her or harass her or try to intimidate her or anything. And I have I can get my Apple Maps thingy too that shows where my phone was and that I was at my house.
Let me ask you a question then, because that's sort of the main point that she made in her petition against you, that you came to her residence in the early hours back on August 10th. So is that the incident you're referring to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I don't know. I know that she's made multiple reports that I showed up at her house, but I don't. The only reason why I even know who she is because Joseph, because I bailed him out. Before all this happened, I didn't contact her. I didn't do anything. I didn't even know who she was. And I think that's it.
Okay. All right. I'll hear from Jordan, but I may need to ask you some questions after that, or I may give you an opportunity to respond to some of what she says, like I said, because there's petitions going both ways here.
Oh, can I also say another thing? So I can't remember the date, but I when I first did this, she tried to put the petition on me the very next day, which I think is out of retaliation because I know that her aunt, it works in the court system and she gets all of her information from her aunt. So it was the very next day that she found out that it went through, that she went to the courthouse to get the restraining order or the protection order on me. So I feel like that was based off of like just retaliation.
Okay. All right, Ms. Goran, you want to tell me your side of it?
Yes, Your Honor. I did reach out to her job to let them know when I did petition for the no contact order after she showed up to my house. I did reach out and let them know that that wasn't okay and that I would reach out to corporate if further things were going to continue to happen. On August 10th, me and my daughter were woken up in the middle of the night to Lillian Vaughn and Jamie Connelly banging on my front door, and by the time I could even get out of bed to come down the stairs, they had went around, and I have all this on camera of Jamie Connelly at my house on recorded, around my backyard trying to break into my sliding glass door. I have a police report. They called, which I believe is in retaliation, over Joseph Vaughn. Joseph Vaughn has 3 assault felonies against me. Jamie Connelly did bail him out. That has nothing to do with me whatsoever. Me and Joseph have absolutely no contact. They called and made false accusations that Joseph Vaughn was there that night, claiming under the influence that he was here. When the police had arrived, because I was going to call, Lillian was screaming she had already called. So when I went and opened the door, I had offered the officer, please come in and search the house. You know, if you got this call, I have nothing to hide. Joseph Vaughn is not here. We are not in contact. You know, the officer had free reign to come in and did clear that Joseph Vaughn was not here. They've been harassing me. Those no caller IDs were them because I've answered the phone numerous times. It was Jamie Connelly and it was also Lillian Vaughn doing those no caller IDs. And at this point, I'm just sick of being harassed. She has came to my line of work. She has tried to reach out to my boss, which my boss can write a statement as well. I'm just sick of it at this point. My 5-year-old daughter is terrified still to go to bed when she hears noises because these drunk girls were throwing rocks, trying to bust, literally punching at my sliding glass door in the backyard. Like, intoxicated or not, we're grown adults. I have a child. They have threatened me, threatened to shoot me. I've never been to Jamie Connelly's house. I had to get her address from the police officer. She still hasn't been served the protection order. And at this point, it's just more of an exhaustion than anything. I don't know how any of my previous relations relate to this. I don't know why they're doing this other than this has to do with Joseph. They have said numerous times that, oh, they're going to get me back for what I did, for putting Joseph in jail for assaulting me. And, you know, at the end of the day, they can feel how they want to feel, but they're not going to come to my house and they're not going to do this, or I'm going to take further matters into my own hands as far as having to press charges for, I don't know, breaking into my backyard in the middle of the night, throwing things at my house, threatening me, numerous calls. I've never reached out to Jamie on a fake phone number. I've never reached out on my own number. And if it was way before any of this had ever arisen, and it was not in a hostile environment or situation. And she's the ex of my ex-boyfriend. So I do believe that there is lasting, you know, emotions for this man. Like, she bailed him out $2,500. Like, she realized that he, you know, I don't know, but his sister had said, like, she tried to get back together with him. He said no. She wanted her money back. I don't know if she thinks that something's going on, but we have a no contact order, and I've been following every single rule of that. And after the charges he's facing, there's nothing left there for me. Like, I have a 5-year-old daughter. I want better for me, and I don't want to be dealing with this. This is ridiculous. I don't deserve this. I'm fearful to be here. And the reason I put a no contact order on her, my aunt cannot disclose any information. She never has disclosed any information. I don't even know if she can even get that kind of information, but that was also false. They have been making false accusations numerous times now. And On top of that, I had to leave my house that night because I was scared because they were saying they were going to shoot me, literally shoot me at my house. They were going to beat me up. They were threatening to beat me up. They were trying to open my sliding glass door while my 5-year-old daughter was screaming, crying in the background. I literally came back, got my things, and left over almost an hour away and stayed with my friend because I refused to stay here. This isn't the first time I've made police reports, and it's just not coming to an end. And if this all revolves over a guy, she can have him. Like, hands are washed on that situation. I just can't fathom as a grown adult doing that in front of a 5-year-old child, intoxicated or not. I've heard in the past that she does drink a lot and she has a lot of issues. And I've been there, done that in my younger days. I'm not perfect. I have a past and I'm not clueless to that. But that's not where my life is now. And that's not where I want it to be.
Okay. All right. So Ms. Connelly, I'll let you respond to that, and then I'll let Ms. Goran respond, and then I'll make a decision. Okay.
Okay. I've never showed up to her workplace. She works at a bikini barista, so there's no reason for me to go to her workplace to do anything. Like, I've never gone there. I don't want to go there. Like, that's, I don't know. And everything, like, she said that that night she went to her friends, which that's a lie, because on her police report, she said that she took her daughter to her mom's house. So even right then, she was just lying. She's just, she's like a serial liar. Like, she's like, I don't even know what to say. None of that is true. I've never threatened her with a gun. Like, I've never harassed her. I've never showed up. She doesn't like even have her kid most of the time. Like, her mom takes her kid. If Lillian was here, she could be a witness. I was not there that night. It was Lillian and my other sister. I have proof that I wasn't there that night. I don't really know what to say. None of it is true.
All right. I understand what you're telling me. All right. So, and Ms. Goran, as I said, I'll give you a final opportunity to respond to any of the things that Ms. Connelly just said.
She 100% did show up to my house. It's on camera, and she 100% has showed up to my job. She has continuously harassed me. She will not leave it alone, and I just am done. Like, I just don't want this to continue anymore. I don't want her to be coming to my residence. And yes, that night I left and went to my mother's because that's what the cop recommended. The reason that my protection order wasn't, by the way, and I did reach out to her and say I was getting a protection order. So that's probably why I told her, I said, I left town. This is ridiculous. I'm getting a protection order against you. She then went and got one while I was out of town. So if anyone is retaliating anything, this is absolutely ridiculous. The only reason I'm here is to be able to protect me, myself, and my daughter. And at the end of the day, all of this is absolutely uncalled for. If this girl does not stop, I will be pressing charges for breaking and entering into my backyard. I will take this further. I do not want anything to do with this person. She needs to leave me alone, because if she comes on my property again, I'm not dealing with it. I'm not.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Now, I also want you both to know that I did read and review the petitions that you submitted and the statements that went along with that. And honestly, it's very difficult to find any of this credible. I mean, in the sense that your accusations against each other don't, neither one of you is presenting with more credible accusations or descriptions of events than the other. It's difficult to sort through what may be true, what may be embellished, what may be untrue. What I can tell, obviously, is that there's a lot of, I guess, bad feelings. There's clearly not a warm relationship between the two of you. That's obvious. But I can't stress enough that, this is a legal proceeding. There's law that governs this. This isn't like school or something where, you can go to the principal's office and the principal can make a decision based on, what he thinks should happen based on how difficult you are to manage. It isn't like that. Each of you as a petitioner in a legal case has brought a lawsuit against the other. And the law has specific requirements that have to be met in order for the court to give you what you're asking for, which is an order against the other person. And those are not consequence free. Those orders don't just say, well, leave each other alone. They say that, and they say some other things, but there are consequences. Those orders, when they're put in place, if the restraint provisions of those orders are violated, those are criminal offenses that people can be arrested for, go to jail for. It's serious business. It's not just about people who aren't getting along. It's not just about some guy, as you said, Ms. Goran. It isn't as insubstantial as that. All right. So it has to be taken seriously. I cannot make findings that basically would say, I think it's better if you stay apart from each other. I do think it's better if you stay apart from each other, but that isn't a legal basis to issue an order against either one of you. And so for both cases, as I said, I do not find a credible version of events here. And I do not find that any of the elements of unlawful harassment have been met in either case. And therefore, both of you are being denied protection orders at this point. Now, I'm basing that on the record, which is the material that you filed here and the testimony that you've given here. If there's other stuff, if there's other, I've heard references to other people who have information. I've heard references to videos and recordings, but none of those things are part of the record in this case. All right, so I'm not considering those things as part of my decision. I just want it to be clear to you that coming here to court for something like this is not a matter of just whether it's a good idea that people who are hostile to each other should stay away from each other. It's a legal proceeding, and there are legal requirements that have to be met, and they have not been here. So I'm going to give you both copies of my decision, the final decision in this case, which is ultimately it's a denial of the request for the order in both cases.